Well, hello internets, here we are. Got a little bit of a vlog, something I've been trying to work out over the last almost week now. Not quite sure what direction to go or what to do, but it'll be what it is. And yeah, welcome to our vlog, so here we go. Well, with the warm weather starting to build and the project start deadline getting ever closer every day, I have been on the hunt for a place to store, temporary, like, of course, my so-called treasures that are in my project trailer, as well as building materials that I'm going to need for the upcoming project. Now, originally I thought that I would use my Jayco to store stuff in, but I quickly realized last fall that trying to use a RV to store stuff, even an RV that you basically gutted and butchered to make into a giant box, it will not work quite as well or efficiently as you think it was gonna. And I know some of the stuff that I've tucked away may or may not be relevant to my future, and I probably should get rid of it, and it would make some room. It's not gonna make nowhere near enough to store the kind of volume of material that I need to buy for this project. So the idea that I had was to rent a storage unit. You know, one of those ones you see on the TV shows where people put grandma's treasures in and then pay whatever it is there, $150, $200 a month for the next 20 years. Until grandma passes away and the accounts go dormant and it gets sold at auction. Those kind of storage things. Well, I been shopping around or calling around, and a lot of places in this town either don't have any available or are in a sketchy area that I don't really want to rent from. There's a place on the west end of town that has been broke into several times, to the point where it's almost a dead business now. There's a place on the north end of town that is a bit rougher. I rented from them like 20 years ago. And when I thought that I needed a sea can when I lived in an apartment, but it quickly ate away at my money, and it wasn't very efficient. And then there's another place in the center of the industrial park. That's the place there that I've been thinking about dealing more with. The only thing is having to drive there for material is not cost effective. If I've got to drive there for material, then I might as well drive back to the lumber store to buy the said material that I need for that day's so-called work. It would be beneficial to have everything close, but at the same time, something like that would not be super beneficial. Made a call to a place that I'm on a waiting list for, and they said that they're going to get some in any day now. Well, any day now doesn't work when you're wanting to start your project in about 2 weeks. And there's project prep. You know, you got to get things prepared either at plan B for you to do everything on your own, or things squared away so you got room to get at your stuff, like your tools that are blocked by stuff because you stuck everything in there last fall when really you shouldn't have. When I originally set up the Jayco to be this way, I pictured something extremely minimal, and it quickly ballooned from extremely minimal to basically 70% of the trailer being full. And then over winter, because the Jayco was full, I started putting stuff in a second location. Now not junk and stuff. This is stuff that I bought for the upcoming project. Stuff, storage totes that I bought to sort through linens or sheet goods or towels and stuff that would hopefully keep them, a little bit more cleaner, or rodent free, stuff like that are beneficial. But at the same time, all that stuff has to move in order for me to start my project. I can't put it on the ground under a tarp, because that's not going to work. There might be, a month or so before it starts to rain. But if it's going to take me a lot longer to do phase 1 of the project than a month, especially now, the way things are. I don't have any family or any friends that has significant space to store stuff. And me, myself, without my garage or my yard or my sheds, I don't have spaces to store things like I once did. When I did my basement bedroom project, I literally bought everything I needed for that project and brought it home. I had the ability to store stuff. When I did the basement living room project, I kind of did the same thing. I bought a bulk buy of materials and brought them home. And I may not be able to do that with this project because the space just is not there. I know I can buy the sheet goods, like the 4 sheets of plywood and the 2x2s and such, which would probably be enough to keep me busy for a day or 3, moving the 4 sheets of sheet goods out of the trailer in the morning, do your work, and then back in the trailer at night, kind of a thing. Trying to do things a little more efficient-er than 38 trips to the hardware store, but at the same time, if that's the way it has to be, because of the lack of storage space or the ability to store things, then I guess that's the way it is, right? A person doesn't realize how much they get limited by a change in their life. They try to do things that they once did, whether it's running into limitations because lack of storage space, or running into limitations because lack of tools, or running into limitations because lack of space to do said project. Running into limitations because my body changed since my workplace accident, and I no longer can do the things physically I once did, even though mentally I think I can. Having second thoughts in your head that maybe you shouldn't be doing what you're going to do because you're just going to fail at it, just like you fail at everything else, or a lot of the other things you did over the last few years. Having thoughts that maybe you should just, take the doctor's pills and check yourself into an old folks home, or rent some kind of $600 a month apartment to rot in until your brain turns to mush and you die, kind of a thing. Having thoughts like that, and you're doing something right when everyone around you says you're crazy. Everyone around you thinks you're crazy. You're doing something good for your life when you face obstacles and hurdles. you know you're doing something good for a change when it's a completely different direction than what you've been going for the last few years. The question is how bad do you want it, and how strong are you mentally, physically, emotionally to make this happen? Am I able to push it through, make it happen, get rid of all those clutter so-called treasures that I've kept, things that I've been given in the last 6-8 months that belong to other people that they thought that I might want. Getting rid of things that really in the long-term future I don't ever see myself needing again, or even have the little hook on the ceiling to plug them in again, nor have I used them in the previous 20 years, so why am I keeping them? Basically just letting things go, letting things roll, and it'll turn out the way it is. But just a little bit of an idea that I had floating down in my head that I thought I would share. We'll have to see how things shake out. But I have a feeling that this summer might be another interesting big change. Getting rid of more things, potentially going another direction, trying to figure out how to make things work without too much chaos or catastrophe. But thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and enjoy.